You're listening to The Mentality Show, only on LA Talk Radio.
Thank you. C-Tech. Tech C. I'm going to have to change your name to be fucking up C. Okay. All right. Welcome back, all you Mentalians here. We are back for our sixth rendition of the Mentality Show. Focus on the word men here. We're just a show with four grown-ass men discussing grown-ass issues, dealing with grown-ass people, and
taking grown-ass shit.
Grown-ass shit. And women, if you ever want to be a fly on the wall and want to know what men talk about, real men talk about, then this is the place. This is the show for you, okay? So let's introduce our regular characters here. We got my man fucking up C-Tech. Tech C in the house.
I'm going to fuck up some more for that, just for that shit.
You're going to have me sound like Kermit the Frog or something.
Yeah. Or Doolittle.
Doolittle. We got Paulie D in the house. Paulie, what's up?
Good, brother.
Just good to be here.
Sitting next to this clown.
Everybody probably wants to know what's going on. Okay, Vato V is running a little late here today, so we can't just be on the show without Vato V, so we had somebody step in for him a little bit. We got Cleophas. Cleophas in the house. What's up, Cleo?
What up?
Cleo in the house.
For the Dodgers.
Yep, he's a Dodgers fan. Has a lot to say. He's very excited about the Dodgers. That's all he has to say. What does that mean? What's the? Okay, there you go. All right, so we know what that means. So we got a lot going on the show today. We got a lot to discuss here. We're going to be just talking about racism and this thing going on with Starbucks right now, all around the country. This is a hot issue. This has been a hot issue, racism. So we're finally going to discuss that on today's show. And then we got our meat and potatoes. We're going to discuss midlife crisis. Midlife crisis. If you're a man out there and you feel that not so fresh, if you're a man out there and you feel like things are changing and you're questioning a lot of things going on in your life, then this is the show for you, because we're going to discuss that here today. But let's get back to the whole racism thing. So this thing is hot right now, and we actually, it's funny, you never know who's taping. You never know what's going on. You never know what people can catch on video. And we're in the streets all the time. We have C-Tech, myself, Vato V, wherever he is, Paulie in the house. We always carry our phones. We always record certain things going on. And we actually found or recorded a racist issue that happened this weekend at some laundromat. Okay, so enough talk about it. We're just going to go ahead and roll the video.
Hey, what's going on, man? What, you guys have a special today for laundry?
Yes, sir, we have deals, but I'm going to tell you now, you need to make sure you read the signs. Make sure you read the signs.
All right, real quick, I'll be in and out.
Excuse me. I don't believe you saw the sign, but no whites.
No whites.
Well, because we've had a situation where clothes bleeding into other clothes and things like that, but I just need you to see the sign that we have no whites.
Okay, all I have is white stuff today, man. I don't have
That's okay, sir. You can use any machine here, but just remember.
So, but this machine is broken?
That machine is broken because it's bleeding into other clothes, but no whites. No whites.
Okay. I'll use the next one over, if that's okay.
No whites, sir.
All right, I'll definitely move more. I appreciate you letting me know, because I don't want to get pink, pink shirts and all that stuff. Shit. Hey, do you have any quarters? Yo,
No whites.
where is this guy? Oh my God, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Sir,
What the fuck, dude?
no crackers? You see, sir, apparently we've had a problem with bugs and ants, so I'm gonna have to take these crackers away from you today.
Where do you keep getting these signs, dude? Like, seriously.
Sir, I'm just doing my job. Please let me do my job.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. No crackers.
This place is crazy. Fuck, I'm glad I'm done with this shit, bro. Hey, I had a question, bro. Do you mind if I use your restroom real quick? I'm all done. I appreciate it, and I'm out of here. You got restroom key or something I could use?
There's no sign for this, sir, but no hunkies. Get out of here.
What?
Get your ass out of here. You think he is? What are you looking at? No Mexicans either. Vamonos!
After 25 years of employment, shortly after this incident, this employee was immediately fired from the laundromat. He now teaches sensitivity training at coffee shops all across the country. And he got fired from there too. All right, there we go. So, man, that was crazy, huh? That was crazy. You never know who's taping. You never know what you're going to see on video. Whoever that man is, I guess he was teaching sensitivity training in some coffee shop and got fired after that. I mean, we don't just tape these things. We do our investigative reports and we find out what happens to these people afterwards. So you got a little taste of racism there. Look who we have here. We got Vato V back.
Yo, mi raza, sorry
He's
about
back.
that.
What happened?
Hey, man, I was driving up here and there was some weirdo out there, fucking Sasquatch motherfucker, doing some bullshit
Next
out
time
there.
go easy on him. Don't fuck him up so bad.
My bad, man. My bad. But I'm here now, people. ¿Qué onda, mi raza?
All right. Good to have you back. Good to have you.
Gracias,
Vámonos.
gracias.
Vámonos.
Vámonos, cabrones. Let's do this.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about here today. We're going to cover a lot of things. We're going to talk about racism. We talk about everything on the show. We cover everything. I don't care what it is, from politics and what the heck to should I get my prostate checked. We're going to do it from president in Syria to getting tested for gonorrhea. We got you. That's what we do. What else do we cover here, Paulie?
I think that disease is found only in this guy. Gonorrhea, it's in his rear. Okay. From should you pop a cap in the ass of a Sasquatch to should you get tested for H's after that last crotch?
From should we still be worried about ISIS to am I going through a midlife crisis?
That's right.
good,
Okay,
man.
we're going to cover that today.
So, okay, from ¿Qué onda, cabrones? To hey, girl, can I take off your calzones? What's up?
That's to all of our Hispanic listeners out there, because I don't know what the hell you just said.
He said, drop your panties, baby.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Papi,
Okay, that sounds
Papi
nice.
Chulo over here.
If you're wearing any. But.
So I hinted on, we're going to talk about racism. So let's talk about it, okay? The big thing that's going on in the country right now. I mean, there's always some type of racist story or situation going on, but right now, Starbucks is in a lot of hot water. I guess a couple of their employees did some racist shit. Apparently, in Philadelphia, 2 black men were waiting inside of Starbucks for a friend, and immediately they were kicked out for some reason. Who knows what that reason is?
Wow.
Wink, wink, wink. And the police were called and all this, and the guys were kicked out of the Starbucks for simply waiting inside of the Starbucks. Now, and then there was another situation, Starbucks here in, I believe, Hermosa Beach, where a black man,
right?
Redondo Beach,
Redondo
Beach. Black man walks in, asks if he could use the restroom. The worker says to him, well, sir, you have to purchase something before you can use the restroom, which is racist already, okay? And then the guy says, okay, yeah, I'll purchase something, but right now I need to go. They reject this man, do not give him the key. The man accepts that as he's walking out. A white man walks in, asks for the key. They immediately give him the key. Sure, sir, here you go. Here's the key. Let him use the restroom. Racist, okay? So Starbucks, I believe on May 29th of this year, they're going to have a sensitivity training day. They're going to close all the Starbucks.
Are you teaching that?
So all you, hey, I should, huh? So all you folks out there who are racist and love coffee, too bad, okay? So that's what's going to happen on May 29th. What do you guys think about all this? What do you think about what's going on with Starbucks and just racism, period?
You know what, man? Like, as far as racism goes, everybody, I think we all have have gone through it. You know, I've experienced it and stuff. I remember one time, it's not a coffee shop, but I remember I went to visit a friend at a hospital, and it was myself and I have an African-American lady in the car. She's one of my mentors. I think you met her before.
Oh, yeah, really nice lady.
Really nice lady.
Really
And
nice
when my buddy who's out.
I think I know her. Even if I didn't know her, she's black. So
There you go. She is black. And
actually, I never met this woman. I don't know why he assumes I would know her. No, I know her.
Yeah.
Go ahead, D.
And then I had another one of my buddies in the back seat, and we drove up to visit my buddy, and we're leaving the parking lot. And as we were leaving, this lady comes up, white lady. She's like, "Excuse me, do you know where the parking is?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's over here." English, no English. I was like, and then she took off. Man,
Okay.
that thing pissed me off so bad, bro. I had to turn around and come back, right? So I came around. And I was looking for her. I finally found her. I'm like, "Hey, stupid bitch, I know English. Stupid, fuck you."
And then he took off his valet uniform.
Exactly.
And then she maced him.
There you go. So that was, I experienced that shit. That shit was pretty crazy, man. I was like, what the fuck just happened, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I did tell her off, man. I did tell her off.
Good. She needed to know.
Yeah, she needed to know that.
And you told her off with your accent as
Exactly.
well, right? Okay, that was
Exactly.
good. Made it even richer.
Funny, bro.
Made it even richer. What about you guys? See, Tech?
No,
Anything?
I've never experienced racism, man.
Really?
I'm just kidding. Everybody loves me.
Okay. Except for the whites. No whites. No whites.
Nah, man. I mean, I've been to restaurants and been skipped over many times. It's just, it's fucked up, man. I mean, it just seems like it's more visible nowadays ever since, our current president has been out.
Right.
It's just like our country is like, it's coming out again.
Yeah.
It's just big. It's big right now. It's a big thing right now. And it's
Did you hear the national anthem during his inauguration? That shit was like.
You sure got a pretty mouth.
Hey, boy.
I hear you squeal like a pig, boy.
Hello.
Yeah,
Cabron.
crickets
about-
for that fool?
Now, Paulie, you look like a white guy. You look like a very well-tanned, Leonidas-looking white dude. Okay.
I don't know,
So
bro.
have you experienced racism, maybe from black people or other races?
Man, I probably was too dumb to pay attention, man, because I have a lot of love for everybody. So I wasn't thinking along, but I'm pretty sure, bro. Like I have, I would like to say I get a lot of people mistaking me for Middle Eastern or something like that. Like I was in a
'cause you're hairy.
kebab shop the other day. I was hungry, bro. I want some shish kebab, And the guy took my order. He's like, "Hush, I was like, oh. I just started pointing to numbers, but I don't know, man. Like
It's because you're hairy like a Sasquatch.
only in certain parts. But I feel like,
But
dude, we've all been alive on this earth too long to still be having these problems, man.
That's true,
I
man.
agree.
That is
It's
true.
it's a shame that stuff like it's still going on the way it has been, and people start creeping out when they feel like there's strength in numbers. Well, dude, the numbers are on the opposite end. There's more
Right.
people that love each other than fucking hate each other these
Right.
days, in my opinion.
It is fucked up, man. It is a
So-
fucked up. It's a fucked up deal.
Well,
How about you, man?
it's a
I-
small percentage of people that I think, like Paulie said,
Small percentage of people who are racist?
who hate. Yeah, I mean, there's more people that.
I think there's more people now that are still
I disagree
very-
with that, Sixty.
Think about this, you guys. If you look at I saw a picture when I was flipping through Twitter not too long ago, and it was a picture of all these 1950s era Caucasian guys. They were all standing there, and they look like a bunch of white supremacists, man. Like I think there were some Confederate flags in the background, and you just have this air, this about it. The picture looked kind of racist,
Mhm.
And I'm thinking to myself, that's somebody's grandpa.
Yeah.
1950s, they're
Yeah.
in their early teens.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
somebody who's alive today. That's the
Somebody's
grandpa.
grandfather.
Yeah.
So I wonder what the dad was raised like.
Yeah.
The
Of
dad's a
course.
baby boomer probably,
That's true.
or in that era. It's
Right.
like, how long does it take for those feelings to die out?
Right.
So
Right.
it's like my parents weren't like that. I was raised, my family's very diverse.
Right.
So I saw diversity. I saw every color of the rainbow in my house. But what
Right.
if you were raised like that? How long does it take for that to dilute to the point where it's no longer there?
Right.
That's right, man. That's right.
You said every color of the rainbow in your house? So
I got so many different family members.
that
bro.
includes gays as well,
Everybody.
Hispanics, yeah.
Everybody.
What, did I just say gays and Hispanics together? That's
hey.
weird. Okay, no, I don't know where that came
I
from.
think you're racist.
And sexist.
No, my take on this, being an African American, the only African American at this table, is and from the South. I am from Little
top
Rock,
it all off,
Arkansas.
Chingus.
Yes. So what you said, Texie, about a small number, maybe here in Cali, maybe, and I still.
I've never been in the South. So.
I mean, either, man.
Yeah, it's like Dave Chappelle said, "Morning, nigger." It's just that
damn.
casual,
Get
I've
rope.
been, I've been called the N-word in Arkansas, but I've also been called the N-word here in California. I lived in Glendale for a certain amount of time. I was called the N-word one time. Well, I was walking my dog at 12 midnight, and car passes by, Armenian kid just says, "Get out of the street, nigger," and he made sure he was driving pretty damn fast because I would have caught up to his ass. But, it happens, and usually when I'm called the N-word, it's usually somebody who's in the process of moving in a fast direction away from me. Right. They usually don't tell me that to my face, but back in the days, in the 50s and 60s, and, my people, we fought for civil rights, and other people as well. Black people didn't just fight for civil rights, by the way. Right. We had a lot of people in other races who fought for us as well. Right. It was a long struggle, but it still exists today. And, you just saw the clip, the skit that we did on that. To me, racism it's so, the fact that we're human beings, the fact that we're adults, and we still judge someone by the color of their skin instead of the content of their character. As someone who has a humorous mind, to me, I find it somewhat humorous that people still do this today. It's true. And that's why, you have comedians all the time who make fun of certain people and races and things like that. They add a funny spin to it and people laugh at it. They laugh their asses off because it's so fucking, it's so dumb. It's dumb. And it's to me, it's scary. Here in California, when someone doesn't like you, you don't know it because, if they don't like you, because of the color of your skin, you really don't know it. And at least in the South, they'll let you know. It's like, I don't like you, nigger. They'll look you straight in the eye or whatever and tell you. And I'm not saying all Southern people are like that. These are some of the experiences I've had. There's also many, many lovely people in the South, a lot of lovely whites out there that were very, very nice to me and my people. So it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous racism. So any other words on this, gentlemen?
It's disgusting, man. I get it.
It's disgusting. It's something we need to work on. But eventually, everybody's fucking one another. You see all. Eventually, racism, sex is going to erase racism out. Right?
I think
You know what I mean? There's not going to be any purebred whites and purebred blacks and purebred this. By the way, people call us Negroes. My knees haven't grown in a very long time. I don't know where that came from, man. So, but anyway,
you're a fool.
I guess that moves us on to our next topic. There you go. All right, so we're gonna go on to our meat and potatoes of the show. Right. Midlife crisis. Okay, so we're all men of a certain age here. And what is a midlife crisis? There's questions. When does a midlife crisis hit? Do only men deal with midlife crises?
There's a very stereotypical type of midlife crisis, and that's like the buying a car,
hot chick,
cutting your hair, quitting your job, getting a new job, and an affair with a younger woman. That's like a stereotypical.
But why is it that men do this at a certain age? What is it? What's going on inside?
Well,
and even women too. By the way,
I think for the stereotypical type of midlife crisis, that's someone who might have gotten married early, right? And had kids early and started their life and their career at an early age. Let's say mid early 20s. Mm-hmm. Somebody like me, I was single. I didn't get married to my late 30s. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry, my mid 30s. Anyways, when I hit 40, 41, like my midlife crisis to me, which is probably going on now, is more of I wasn't where I expected to be in life. And then started worrying about health issues, right? And where I ended up with anxiety and just all kinds of different things. It's just that's
crazy.
Yeah, and
so do you think you think you went through or you're going through a midlife crisis?
I still am. Yeah, definitely.
So it's just not as severe.
That's why we started the show. What the
fuck?
Yeah. I think I don't know if you guys agree with this, man, but the lifespan, the expected life in the United States is somewhere around 78, 79 for a man, right? Mm-hmm. And getting better with medicine and new, just research on how to eat, how to try to be well, right?
Exercise.
So 40 is our halfway point. I think that hitting 40 years old, making it when, I can name probably 10 people at least, men that didn't make it this far. Yeah. For different reasons, accidents and natural causes. But, this is when I turn 40, that will be the halfway point for me. So I feel like if I do have a midlife crisis, it'll be the same idea of have I done enough to be where I wanted to be at this point. Yeah. But there's a lot of biology in men too. It's like your testosterone starts flipping around, starts changing on you.
Almost definitely.
Your depending on if you have any unresolved, I call them unresolved wants and needs. Like did I do everything physically, sexually, whatever. Did I get all that shit done?
Getting self-conscious.
You start thinking about it, man.
I experienced a situation back in December. I had a pain on my side, and I went to the hospital, and I couldn't breathe, and the doctor came in and he started talking to me, and that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh shit, this is midlife crisis. When he started talking about my health, he's like, well, you know, you have this and that, and he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you, you don't have you're not having a heart attack, which is a good thing. He's all like, he said I had pneumonia, which is like, oh, I never experienced that. But then he said, but you're at the cusp of having a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And that shit scared the shit out of me.
Damn.
Wow.
And I was like, but he said, you're not having a heart attack, but I'm saying right now you're at the age where that's when it starts. I mean, it can happen to anybody.
Wow.
But that scared me, man. That really, really scared
Wow.
me. And I started thinking about it, and it fucked with my head.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of my scary experiences now that I'm in my late 30s. And then you think about it, you're like, oh shit, like how far am I going to be living and thinking about this? So, you know, you try to, like, I guess, digest it, and then you think about it. Oh, man.
So when you guys were in your 20s, I mean, did you really think about?
Hell no, bro.
I think about shit.
Right?
Nothing.
I didn't do shit. I thought about ass.
I mean, I was
nalgas
drinking,
and
I was partying. Dude, I
Yeah.
think I told one of you guys I used to ride my motorcycle and get all screwed up and ride that bike like nothing. Like it was just, who cared?
Yeah.
No one cared.
Yeah.
It was like,
You
just
said
do this.
20s? You did that
It's
last
called
week.
reckless abandon. Reckless abandon. Nobody. You don't give a
You
fuck
don't
at
care.
20.
Well, when
Yeah.
you're young, you feel like you're immortal. You have that
Exactly.
immortal feeling. Oh, I can fuck anything. I can beat up anybody. I can do whatever I want. I'm
Testosterone,
young.
man.
I'm virile. But then as you get older, you start feeling that mortality. The doctor's telling you,
not so fresh feeling?
Yeah, that you're on the cusp of having a heart attack. You know,
Oh,
you need
hey,
to
hello.
get your prostate checked, all that type of stuff. You know, when you were young, you didn't even know what the fuck a prostate was. You know, you thought that was a new car that came out that year or something like that. You know,
Like, I'll take it.
2016 prostate.
The prostate sounds like some type of tool that you draw angles on in fucking geometry. Like, okay, the abacus, bring out the prostate thing, and you draw a fucking dick.
That's right.
I don't know.
And then, now as a black man, we lived to 60. So I hit my midlife crisis at 30. So I think all my questions came in then, when I was wondering, what's like you said, you start feeling your mortality, things start to change. You're not as athletic as you
you're
used
a
to be. You
senior
need to
citizen
start.
now.
Yeah, I guess I am, exactly.
By
Hey,
the
Dan-
way you walked in this
feel-
motherfucker.
I know, bro.
You get discounts everywhere.
At fucking Denny's.
You get discounts everywhere.
It's
just funny.
You need to start stretching before you do everything.
Right.
You pour in a box of cereal and your knee pops. You know what I mean?
How does that work?
That's when you start feeling old. That's when you start hitting
Maybe you
those
need to
midlife
get your knee to
crises.
grow then.
Right.
That shit's embarrassing. That shit happens in public when you're like standing on a bus and you're like, fucking knee, and everybody looks down and is like, did you just fart out of your knee? Like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, fucking
Schlunk.
You know what's crazy? Like, before, when you're in your 20s and shit, you want to go out and, hey, the party starts at 10 o'clock, right? Fucking, let's go at 10 o'clock. Now it's like, I'm going to go to sleep at 10 o'clock.
Right.
Like, fuck, man, that's my bedtime.
They got
Fuck all that.
this joke about, the lady knocks on the guy's door, old man's door, and she opens up her trench coat and she's butt naked and she's like, super sex, and the guy goes, I'll take the soup. That's when you're old as fuck.
was
man.
him.
You start going to legit side massage parlors.
I know, bro.
That's another topic, another show.
Oh, shit.
Texie, I'm just joking. Just joking. So when do we start going through all these? So what age do you think it starts?
I think it depends on the person, dude. I think
depends on the
late
person,
30s, 40s, it can be. You may bypass all this shit, and at 50, you're like, I want a fucking Porsche. Like, I don't know,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I think mine was like exactly at 40. When I turned 40, it was like, oh, fuck.
Hey, how about this though? Okay, so we talk about age, life expectancy, usually right in the middle when you feel like you're halfway there. But what if everything's going good? You got everything you want. You did all the fucking you wanted to. You got your nice job, but then some bad shit happens to you. You have trauma. I think that's another thing that, if you come from like a mental health perspective, they have like different inventories, different like questionnaires you can fill out. If you've had so many different changes in your life, each change has a point value,
Right.
and you add up your points. And if you've had so many in a year, it's like you need to be mindful of how you're feeling. Like if you move, have a kid, have a divorce, somebody dies, like all those things. So like if you have some major life changes outside of your control,
So you're counting points on every life experience.
man, like 1 year.
So for me, in a couple of years, I got married, had a kid, all these things.
Exactly. It's the bag that you
and turned 40.
Exactly. So that bag that you carry around that we talked before, like if you all of your life experiences in a bag, sometimes the bag is heavier. That shit can weigh you down.
No.
Yeah.
I think that life experiences can fucking change your perspective and make you feel like
Yeah,
you're in a
because
crisis.
once you hit a certain age, that's when you start going through these things, possibly divorce, marriage, kids, you know, getting on your nerves, things like that. We don't experience those in our 20s. If you do, that's you're in a messed up position. But if you're in your 40s, you know, usually people start experiencing those things. That's when problems arise. How does it affect you psychologically? How do you handle these
How
things?
about this, though? That's all problems. But what about promotions? Let's say you land in your 40s. That $150,000 a year job when you were making 60,
Right.
and all of a sudden you're like, you have power, you have money, you've had this girl standing behind you, but now all the hotties, the young ones, like
Okay,
you.
but what about a promotion where you have more on your shoulders, but it's not really that much money more, you know? So
I've seen it both ways. More stress, maybe the midlife
more
crisis,
stressful job.
But I saw a dude get, you know, basically double his salary, and then, you know, shit started
Getting better.
going away from, you know, work on trips, and like it goes both ways.
By the way, to our audience, if you want to chime in on this, I'm sorry I didn't mention this earlier. Our number is 818-570-5085, The Mentality Show, 818-570-5085. Yeah, you know, there's promotions, there's demotions. What if you go through a situation in life where you lose a huge chunk of change, a huge part of your salary, and you have a family to take care of? You have your kids, you have your wife. That can affect a man psychologically, which then could affect him physically.
Right.
And now he's on the cusp of having a heart attack because of the stress that he's dealing with. You know, in your 20s, when you deal with stress, you don't have to worry about heart attacks and things like that happening afterwards. Now in your 40s, you have to start limiting your stress, and you have to start controlling that stress.
Right.
40s, 50s, or whatever, because now, you know, like, damn, I got my job to worry about, I got my kids to worry about, and I could have a heart attack on top of it. It's a huge load to take. You know, these are things that men have to think about. These are things that men think about. You know.
Whoa, what are we talking about here, man?
Huge loads, huh?
Hello.
Hey, that was a slip up there. So
What are you talking about here, bros? That sounds like a huge load.
Hey, what does our penises have to say about this? This is our penises, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, we're going to introduce. This is from now on. When you hear this voice, this is our penis, our penises chiming in. So, what do our penises have to say about this topic?
The penis would have a public service announcement every week. He goes,
remember, boys, flies spread disease, so keep yours closed.
Let me ask you something, Mr. Penises. Do you age at all? Do you become wrinkled and things like that as you age?
Leave that to the barrels.
So many questions for our penises.
He's the penis of four.
Yeah,
the mind of four penises.
The mind of four penises. He's an accumulation of all of our penises. So, sorry guys, we're men, so our penises have a word here. Okay,
right.
Always,
and a voice, evidently,
and a voice.
We have to fight.
Very, very
what
poor
head to think with.
Poor eyesight.
The wrong one.
Poor eyesight, especially when he gets excited. You know.
The pirate one.
So here's another thing: women, they deal with midlife crises as well. We all are involved with women. Okay, what are some of the signs? Do you think your wives, girlfriends are dealing with midlife crises? Crises. I love saying it. If I was, gay,
my wife's
perfect
young,
word.
so.
Crises. Merry Christmas,
You say
Mr.
that
Crisis.
You say that pretty well, dude.
Metro. He's Metro over there.
Hey, it's
Metro.
I have
a
a question.
talent. It's a talent.
Do you practice, or does it come naturally?
I practice it. I took
years.
years and years of training to get my S's right. I look in the mirror and I take it seriously, and I start using every S, every word with an S. It's just the habits.
Let me ask you this.
Merry
dude.
Christmas, Mr. Santa. Oh, no, anyway, I don't know where it came from.
He
So,
answered my question. That was
Stay
it.
away.
it's all training,
That's so
voice
natural.
training.
You're
What do you mean
good, but with our help, you could be the best.
That's right. Remember that, all you Mentalians. So women, okay, do our women have to deal with this midlife
Absolutely,
crisis?
dude.
And what are some of the
Not
signs?
mine though.
Absolutely. dude. You know what? I think about it like this.
It's coming.
man.
It's coming.
I'm gonna be bold and just say that I think women and men are fucking identical, dude. In certain ways, like my wife makes more than me. She has way more like on her plate, responsibility wise at work. She's the man.
She's the man.
She is. She's the tough
You're
one.
gonna kick
man.
your ass when you get home.
I don't know. She's already mad at
That
me.
cabrón.
on this.
Uh-oh.
You're going to sleep on the
But
couch.
I think that those stresses, like the work stresses, translate also into like the other creative shit that she's doing. Like she's way more creative than I ever.
And she's an
I knew she was
entrepreneur,
very. all that stuff. I married this woman because I knew how much she had to offer the world. I'm like, I want to be a part of this, dude. I want to like support her, but I'm like, she stepped it up 5 steps after the kids were born. She went at it, dude.
I like how you guys use this show to get laid when you get home. That's
No,
pretty
it's
good.
true, but it's so midlife
good
crisis
ideas.
wise, you know, she's definitely like, she knows where she wants to be. She's not there yet. I don't think it has to do with managing the expectations of her not being where she wanted to be by now, but being a mom, dude, being a wife, being an employee. She has all these identities, and it's like one of these bubbles is about to start, you know.
You're definitely not sleeping on the couch tonight, son.
I don't have a fucking couch anymore, dude. Like, she even got rid of it, so I'd be on the floor.
Now, Texie, you have your wife's significantly younger than you.
Yes.
So you said you're not dealing with this yet. What are
Not
are you looking forward to dealing with
That's
this?
the question.
You know?
Well, I don't know. I don't even know what the signs are. What do women do for?
They start flirting with younger men.
Oh, hello.
I remember reading they start dressing more provocative than when like they did when they were in their 20s. They want to get more attention from men. They desire more attention from who they're with. They get that not so fresh feel. No, I'm sorry, I'm getting them mixed up with other things. No, it's
This guy would be a great
it's
commercial for like badge powder or whatever. Like badge fresh.
you feeling not so fresh this morning? I don't know. That's
dusting powder on you.
I'm gonna have to throw some S's.
Smells like some
Are you feeling
WD-40
not so
and shit, dude. Like, all right.
Hi, I'm Bill. Sometimes when my woman gets that not so fresh, I love it. No, so anyway, so yeah, you're not looking forward to that, right? Are you?
Of course, no.
Okay.
I think anybody is, bro.
Yeah, that was a dumb question. Okay, so it's coming. It's coming, Texie. Be ready for it. That's all I'm
About
saying.
10
Those are
years?
some of the signs. Yeah, in about 10 years, it's coming.
I think that's called what's that thing called? Menopause and shit. When they go through that shit, that's crazy.
Menopause. Isn't that funny? Menopause.
That's a whole different
like they're
fucking
putting
subject, though.
Yeah, like they're putting men on pause or something like that.
That's what it is.
I always thought that was funny.
we got
I mean,
menopause
menopause
too.
means
When,
no
our,
dick.
Yeah,
when our
womanopause.
testosterone goes down.
Hey, do we go through that shit?
Yeah.
Do we have our periods as well? Or I mean, not necessarily periods.
Ooh, that's
but
a good question.
You know what I mean?
Please
Absolutely.
call, ladies, if you want. Oh, okay.
Hey, go.
menopause.
Maybe this is they can answer this.
Hello, caller.
Hi.
Hi. Who are we
I had a question.
Yes, who are we speaking with?
And it's actually, I'm sorry?
Who are we speaking with here?
My name is Stacy.
Hi, Stacy. Welcome
Stacey.
to the Mentality Show. Yes, what's your question?
I actually wanted to touch on a subject that Polly touched on a little bit earlier
Mm-hmm.
in regards to men and their midlife crisis and their sexuality and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He mentioned that men's libido start to go down. Why is that?
Them.
I think we're just running out of testosterone. Man. I don't know how long it sits in there for.
Okay, so then in that aspect of why is it that you would think about whether you actually did everything that you wanted to do sexually in life when you hit your midlife
Ooh,
crisis?
good
Wouldn't
point,
that
Stacey.
be something that you did in like your early 20s?
I think
Good point.
That's a great question. I feel like overall biology, literally like your prime is your 20s for men and women.
Right.
Physically.
Between 18 and 27.
I think, yeah. So let's say 25, everything starts going downhill. So for men, our testosterone level, not for everybody at the same time, but gradually starts to decline. And everything, everything in your body starts going down. So I guess the question about, how that relates to, feeling like we didn't do enough, everybody's is different. Like some guys had all the fun they wanted to before they got married. Some guys maybe were late bloomers, didn't get all that shit out of their system. I think it's your relationship too. Like if you're happy having all the sex you want, closely tied to your partner, you're not going to have those same feelings of, oh shit, I need to go and start a new life with another person or just be free and young again. Like it's relative to that person.
So then does that mean that men who are hitting a midlife crisis, then all of a sudden, if they don't feel as accomplished sexually, that's when they go and
I think it's an
try to
identity issue.
fulfill that?
It's
Yeah,
an individual identity issue for that man.
Yeah, they want to get that. They want to get their swag back, if you will. You know what I mean? So sometimes men, we identify ourselves and our virility, if that's the right word, with younger women or getting as many women as we can or having sex with as many women as we can because we did that when we were younger. Right. Now that we're older and we're kind of losing our libido, we don't want to accept that. So we start, we want to start dating younger women and see if we still got it, if you will.
Stacey, I think that also it's not, I mean, I don't know how closely linked it is to a decrease in testosterone. I think it's a personality thing. I think it's an individual like self-esteem, self-concept, like am I the man that I used to be? There's something missing. Something's going on in that man's
psychological
in that guy's mind.
Psychological. Sometimes you go through a traumatic experience or whoever you were with in the past, and then you get someone new, and it's like, oh shit, how am I going to be able to perform with this person? And, because the other person is, you know what I mean? So,
Stacey, hear me out here, okay? Here, I got a question here. I mean, I got not a question, but I have a statement regarding your question. And hear me out, okay? This is my theory. I believe that men get a certain amount of nuts in their life, okay? Say a man gets, he's able to, bust, 3,000 nuts, okay? And in his 20s or 30s, that's just a number I'm throwing out there. That's just a number, hypothetically.
That's a really small number.
Hey, oh, wow, okay.
I actually know one of you personally.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we will talk about that later. But Stacey, hear me out here, okay? So let's say a man hypothetically has 3,000 nuts, okay? And he used about 2,800 of those nuts in his 20s and 30s. Now he's 40. He only has about 200 nuts left. So now, once he passes that 200th nut, he's going to need things like Viagra and testosterone shots and things like that.
That you do? That you use?
No, I'm just giving you an example of how men. This is all.
Sorry, but because you said earlier that you hit your midlife crisis at about 30.
Right,
so
right,
I was
right.
Curious.
Well, I hit my midlife crisis in so many other ways, but if I want to get personal here, I am still the man. Okay, I will say that. I am still.
He's on his 100th nut. Still got a lot more nuts.
I watched the show earlier where one of you mentioned socks and sandals.
Oh, hello.
The what?
Socks and sandals.
Bato V.
That's
right.
Bato,
Bato V. Yes.
Oh, is that okay?
Do you know about that personally?
Let me just tell you, I can confirm that.
Oh.
Stacey, I love you. Yes, yes.
I wish
that is perfect.
We have some giveaways.
This guy's sweating over here.
I gotta give you your
socks
shirt.
and sandals. Stacey, please, afterwards, if you want to call back, leave us your contact information. We're going to send you a mentality T-shirt for that one right there. Yes,
and some sandals.
Hey, I'll personally sign them.
I know, dude. We should start giving that shit.
That is perfect. Stacey, any other questions you have for us here while you got us on the line?
No.
You were
in regards to women, hitting their midlife crisis, be careful because for you married guys, you're hitting your midlife crisis at about 40-ish. They're hitting their midlife crisis kind of around the same age. Their libido's going up, your libido's going down.
That's
so
true.
Be careful with that.
That's very, very true. Very, very good point.
There's a doctor, and have you seen the commercials where the guy's all buff, the doctor, and he's selling shots of testosterone? I'm going to that guy.
Somebody hit their midlife crisis already.
I'm going to hit that dude up.
See, women are lucky. Y'all don't have things like Viagra and things like that because you're getting hornier and hornier as you get older,
But we, believe it or not, sometimes women do need that. It's rare.
It's rare?
It is rare.
Vitamin D.
So.
I know, right? Vitamin D.
Sometimes.
They just need a little vitamin D, and if you're not providing it because your testosterone down and your libido's down.
Hey, my testosterone's fine. I just brought it up for science.
Vitamin, you need some of that D.
All right.
Anyway.
Vitamin D with sandals.
Pineapple juice.
There you go, pineapple juice.
Apple juice. Pineapple juice. All right, Stacey, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for calling.
Thank you, guys.
Keep listening, okay? You too. Okay. All right. That was Stacey calling in with her socks and sandals truth there.
Hey, no fucking secrets, dude.
We got to start screening these calls, maybe. Okay. So I was sweating. I was like, does this chick know me? You know what I mean? Damn. But anyway, 818-570-5085. 818-570-5085 is the phone number. Please keep calling in. We have plenty of time left with your questions. This is a very hot topic, obviously, midlife crisis. We just heard from a woman there. Got her perspective, Stacey's perspective. She made a good point. Women, as they get older, it's a curse. Right. Men, when we're younger, we're hitting on women all the time, and they don't want to give us the time of day, and we're just walking around with horny penises, and they don't. Now, as we get older, we're starting to lose it, and they're starting to gain it.
That's right.
We need. When do we even out here? What age do the men even out with women when it comes to horniness?
You know what I mean? Well, you know what's crazy? The thing is that now you have women that are they're 40, 50 years old with younger guys where they're like, well, I'm just saying, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. That's why you have cougars. you know, to get younger guys. And as you get older, you're like, okay, now we're fucked.
So,
We're
so
stuck. What
to
are we
be
gonna do?
even sexually, you got to be dating an older woman,
Right?
I don't see. You don't see that. I don't see that. I see it the reverse. Whether it's the sugar daddies and the younger girls.
I think it's the older.
Yeah, but that looks horrible, man. Come on, I personally think that's just fucking embarrassing, man.
Just
when
wait
you're
till you're
like,
70.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, so you think it's more embarrassing to see an older man with a younger woman than to see a younger woman with, an older woman with a younger man?
I think it's both ways, man. It's one of those where maybe one of these days I'll do that shit. But
okay, about
for
that
now,
question.
What's up?
Would you date Blanche from the Golden Girls? Would you take her out to fucking Sizzler and charm her panties off?
Okay, let's do it. Why not?
If you would.
Thank you for being a friend.
They're alive no more. All the Golden Girls dead.
Yeah, dead and shit.
Oh my
Necrophilia? Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, because she's damn near dead.
Damn.
I couldn't do it. And that sucks that older women are at their horniest or whatnot at that age.
That's sad. Isn't
I
that
don't want
fucked
to
up?
think about that shit.
Ain't that a fucked up feeling? Like you're like you're thinking that you're the man and shit. You're at 40, 45, whatever the hell, and then not knowing that your girl is hornier than you and shit. Like she's gonna go.
Okay, so here's the thing. Why aren't you guys just fucking each other? Like, why do you have to go find? That's your That's your disconnect.
That's right.
So maybe instead of like for dudes that haven't hit that point, let's work on not hitting the Golden Girls.
I'm still laughing about the sandals thing.
I'm sorry. We need to do a sketch. We need to do a sketch on your chanclas.
Fuck it. I'm down. I have some.
That was a great
For all you guys who haven't seen the archive shows about this dude, this fetish is sex in chanclas.
That's right.
With socks on.
That's right.
And
Vato
sandals.
V. That's where I got the Vato V from.
Bro, the dirty V.
Oh man, dirty Vato.
Yeah. So women, and that's something else, man. Women. I personally, I rather not date an older woman. I like my women, a little bit younger. And I'm a man of a certain age, and I like my women younger. Women, when they tend to get, I think a woman when they're between 18 and 45, maybe.
That's why he has a shirt on, Papi Chulo.
46.
See the ladies? There you go. Este cabrón.
Finish what I'm saying, gentlemen. Okay, between 18 and 45, women, the world is their oyster.
Right.
All kinds of men want them, depending on how she takes care of herself.
Right.
And then once they hit, after that mid 40s area, that's when, to me,
her stock goes down.
Yeah, I'm not too interested anymore. I'm sorry, women out there past the age of 45. That's my preference. There's plenty of men out there who love you.
They go from cougars to Freddy Cougars.
Good point. Yes.
I wonder what women think about us and shit. Like, fuck, está to pinche to feo, ugly ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. You know what? I'm gonna announce it on the show. I'm gonna work out. Fuck that.
Well, men age like houses. Women age like cars.
Based off
is that what
you
they
walking
say?
up those stairs. Today our elevator was out.
Yeah.
And we all walked up the stairs, and by the time we got to the 4th floor, we were all done.
That shit was embarrassing.
I was fine. I don't know what you're talking about. That's fine.
This was the worst one.
I had to carry like 80 pounds of stuff upstairs.
Dude, it looked like
I know you're not talking, B. You were wearing sandals when you came.
Exactly, I was.
It looked like these three fools were putting up the Iwo Jima flag. They're like, oh, they're all holding each other up, asses and fucking elbows.
Hey, I hit the gym hard this week, man. I'm sore, man.
He worked out his inner thighs.
I know.
Hey, if you had to use your inner thighs for what I use my inner thighs for,
I couldn't hit the gym. My back was hurting.
I know, right?
818-570-5085 is the number. So let's get back to the midlife crisis thing, gentlemen. Okay, so we talked about men hitting on younger women, men buying cars and things like that. Is there anything else that we missed?
I got one.
What's the solution for this? That's what we need to discuss.
Well, before we get to the solution, I actually have one. You know what's one of the things is like one of our points is the fear of the worst or the unknown, like thinking about death and all that stuff. That's when you start thinking about more stuff when you're at that particular age. You're like, fuck, I'm at that age where like things are starting to come down. So what's next? What, you know what I'm talking about? Like it's scary. And I have thought about that shit. Like
mortality.
Exactly. Mortality. Like, oh my God, like I'm at that age where like now it's hopefully I have 40, 50 more years to go, but now going downhill. It's like, damn, like what's the deal here?
You never know though.
Exactly.
You never know. You can walk your doggy and not come home.
Yeah. I think I got I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but I made my peace with all that fear of dying shit because I had some run-ins younger. Like in my early 30s, I had a couple of things happen where I almost didn't make it. I'm not afraid of that anymore. I don't think about, oh my God, 80. I'm like, dude, if I live to 80, fuck it. If I live to 65, I'll get a couple free meals at Denny's. I'll be happy.
I'm good to go.
I'm not looking forward to like, oh my God, retirement and living to 100. Like, I don't want, people are assholes. I don't want to know them that long. Like, I'll be good with, no.
You already sound like an old man.
Right? I don't
Grumpy
know,
old
dude.
man.
I just put on my socks and sandals. I'll be all right, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I had my little run-in with death when I was in my mid-20s, and, you know, it didn't, at that point, it didn't, like, dawn on me. Now, as I'm in my 40s, I'm like, fuck, well, I just don't want that, you know? And I have a son.
Well, you
now.
have so much to live for. Yeah, you have a son, beautiful wife, home, everything. Yeah, absolutely. Good job and stuff. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting ready to end things here. Before we end the show, there's a new thing we like to do. It's called Would You Rather. And this is our question. This pertains to our current event, actually. It kind of pertains to racism a little bit. Okay, so my question is, would you rather be a black man in the 1950s, South, 1950s, or a Mexican in today's Trump administration?
Yeah, I'm living it right now.
I want to ask you, Vato V. I'll give you my answer. What's your answer to that?
You know what? You guys had it rough, man. You guys had it horrible, man.
We did. I was there.
Yeah, I was there.
That's how old I am. I was there.
I mean, your race had it bad, man. But you know, now our race is one of those where like
you're being picked on.
You're being targeted. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's a fucked up situation. Yeah. Now the thing is, when you know the dreamers and all these people that were born in another country that came here, Hispanics or whatever race you are, and you come to this country thinking you're gonna be free and do whatever the hell you want. The fucked up thing is now, where the fuck are you gonna go? Like, this is where you establish yourself. That's when you're a little kid, you were brought here. You weren't born here, but you were brought here. Where the fuck are you gonna go? You can't go back to another country if you don't speak Spanish.
Referring to like DACA?
You know? Yeah, like DACA and stuff like that. Where the hell are you gonna go?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
At least in like, the fucked up thing is that you guys were stuck here, so
we were brought here involuntarily.
Exactly.
And we had to deal with the shit, and we fought for our rights. We fought for everyone's rights here at the table, not just black folks, but civil rights. Right. We just want to be treated civilly. Everyone, like fair.
As it should be. Everybody.
And now that's being taunted with what Trump is doing to, you know, Hispanic folks and Mexicans. So, you know, it's my answer to that is I'd rather be. Well, I'm black, so I'd rather be a Mexican today. That's the short and sweet. So we got to kind of wrap this thing up, folks.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Before I go, I wanted to throw a shout out here. Mm-hmm. I know we had a couple minutes, and the producer tells us to hurry the hell up.
No, a couple minutes, like 1 minute.
I know we have a minute. Okay, hey, I want to throw a shout out to our to Abraham from Burbank Coin Laundry, who let us do a skit right there, Abraham, man. Hey, thank you very much. Hey, we're gonna post it up on our social media, all the information. This laundromat, man, one of the cleanest, one of the nicest, and he's a real cool cat, man. So go over there and talk to him. Exactly. Go over there and talk to him. Sir. So thank you very much, Abraham.
Thank you, Abraham. We also want to give shouts out to our sponsor today. We have our sponsor, Aerial Images. It's a photography and video. Has a lot of good things coming up. You can follow their social media on LAAerialimages.com, LAAreaimage.com, I'm sorry. All the videos and production you've seen on our show thus far has been brought to you by LA Aerial Images. Okay, so to basically resolve everything, or to, you know, we talked about how we're going to end everything regarding midlife crisis. Just know yourself, love yourself, be confident in yourself, be happy, count your blessings, what's going on in your life, and you'll be fine. As far as racism, just, you know, love everybody and make love to everybody. So by the year, 2070, everybody will be mixed with whatever, and people will be happy. So that's pretty much ends our show. Remember, all you Mentalians out there, you're good, but with our help, you could be the best. We'll see you next week.
Right. A ratos, vatos, vámonos.
Vámonos.
You're listening to The Mentality Show, only on LA Talk Radio.